Cashoni,
Superintendent?
as we've had discussions even at the end of the last meeting when I was working out Mr. Young and a couple other people regarding other issues that have taken place that are non-school, but it seems to me the more research we do, the more we find out that schools are separate and aside and handled much more differently than any other metropolitan city or state agency when it comes to the display of prayers or any other religious symbols.
Yeah, that's correct. I was given that at the last meeting, and at the end of this, I'll reiterate what the case law states.
Okay.
Any comments by board members?
As to Mr. Cashoni, the questions?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Mrs. Cohen.
I just have one more. You may be wrapping up, you may talk about this when you wrap up at the end, but I've done a little bit of research myself and haven't found anything. To your knowledge, has there ever been a case where there has been some kind of prayer or something of that nature that has been allowed, that has gone to court and actually been allowed in the schools?
In a public school? None to my knowledge. And again, I haven't done the exhaustive research because, as I stated before, what we've done so far has been pro bono by ourselves. And until we get wrapped up in it, but I relied on what the ACLJ said, and I have done some extensive research, which we will do.
Aside from any questions regarding his research, any comments that the board would like to make at this time?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would suggest that perhaps we hear the remaining public comment, and then we reserve our comments for the end, if that's okay with you, Mr. Chairman.
Ladies and gentlemen, that discussion will be orderly. Please, when you stand, give your name and address for the record. I'm not too sorry. I'm not going to call on you first anyway.
Does everybody want me to speak first?
No.
I know a lot about the issue.
I'm running this meeting, not you. Okay? Give your name and address for the record. If you are a student, just give your name and the school that you are attending. Now, like I said before, you're allowed at least 3 to 4 minutes. Mr. Lombardi will keep a check on the time. When he says time, please make a concluding sentence, not a concluding paragraph. Okay, please. There's a number of people who want to speak tonight. We're going to try to give everybody who wants to speak an opportunity to speak.
So he wants to give you next time.
Be quiet. No. You're allowed one shot at the apple. One shot. There will be no rebuttals. You'll make one statement, and that'll be it for tonight. So, who would like to speak? Yes.
If I could just also add one thing. This is a very passionate issue. This is an issue that we all feel one way or another very deeply about. Could we please all be respectful of what everyone else is saying? You may not agree, but please be respectful, allow the person to finish, and please no booing or hissing or cheering or anything like that, because we want to give everybody an opportunity to speak and be heard.
And please, no banter back and forth. Everyone is going to be afforded their opportunity to speak tonight, and just please, let the person speak, and please do not respond to those persons once they speak. Everyone is going to be entitled to their right to be heard tonight. I'm going to keep a time, like Mr. Trafficante said. When I say time, please end it at that point so that everyone will have the opportunity to be heard tonight. Okay? Before we begin, Mr. Chairman, there was one question, and I was remiss. Mr. Cashoni, the issue that has been raised by the ACLU, that's one issue that I'm concerned about. Is the issue for the, brought by the, is Ms. Labinger here, by the way? She's not here? Okay. The issue brought by the ACLU, is it for the removal of the banner in its entirety, or is it for something less than the removal of the banner in its entirety, or is it, I don't know. What's the issue that they have raised?
It was originally the removal by letter dated August 19th, 2010 from Stephen Brown. He reiterates, he points to alternate language, and he states that this rewording will clearly resolve any and all constitutional concerns raised by the present display. So their position at this point, based on the correspondence, is they're looking for a rewording.
Thank you, Mr. Bullshore.
Committee members, I forgot to mention the fact that I've given you copies of various press releases that have occurred since the first meeting we had at the school committee. I've also given you a number of emails that I have received expressing their opinions regarding the school banner, so please read through those at your leisure. there's a variety of opinions, of course, expressed in these emails as well. So what I'm going to do is go row by row. So we'll start with the left-hand side. Yes.
Last point, I'm sorry,
Yes,
Mr.
that's
Chairman.
all right. No
Last
problem.
point, when individuals speak to this committee, I want to ask that everyone speak through the chair. There's a very courageous young lady sitting to the right of me. I don't want anyone staring her down or speaking to her directly. Speak through the chair, okay? Please, thank you.
Anybody like to speak? Yes, ma'am.
I'm not prepared to speak, but I will.
Okay.
My name is Tammy Morado. I live in Cranston, Rhode Island. I've been very happy to live in Cranston for 40 years. I grew up in Providence and I went to public school. I was proud to send my children to public school. But I tell you right now tonight, it's a disgrace that this has even come to this meeting, that a banner that's been in Cranston West that my two sons graduated from because the word God is in that banner. What happened to democracy? What happened to we the people, by the people, and for the people? There isn't a separation of church and state. That's a misrepresentation. This country was founded by our forefathers that wrote this Constitution, and it was based on them praying. They prayed, and our children were not ashamed to pray, and our children were not ashamed to say God is true. I am appalled that this is going on, and if the people, the handful in the ACLU wants us out, let them put those people that are not happy with the word God in another state or their own. Let them start their own homeschooling. This is ridiculous. I am just outraged at this. I truly am. If they're unhappy with God, go someplace else. Why does a minority have to lead this country? What are we coming to? When are we going to wake up? This is a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace.
I forgot to mention one thing. If you have a written comment, please, once you completed your comments, please hand it in to the secretary, all right? Okay? Yes, miss?
My name is Allison Barnett. I'm a sophomore at Cranston West, and this was brought to my attention at the same time as many of you last August. So I went on. I did some research on this the Establishment Clause from in the first note of the Constitution, which I learned about last year in civics class. I found something interesting known as the Lemon Test. It's based on a Supreme Court case called Lemon v. Curzon. There are three criteria for see if something breaks the Establishment Clause, which is referring to Congress shall make no law respecting establishment religion. The first one is whether it has a secular purpose. I don't think that the school prayer has any secular purpose. The second, whether it has or its primary or principal effect advancing or inhibiting any religion. It seems to me that the school prayer does seem to advance or really only affect the Christian religion. And third, whether it fosters an excessive entanglement of government with religion. Religion getting involved in public school is being entangled. And one precedent that I'd like to bring up is a case from Kentucky, a similar case, Stone versus Graham, went to the Supreme Court. There was a law in Kentucky that said that you had to post the Ten Commandments on the wall of every classroom. This was deemed to be unconstitutional by the Supreme Court, and I believe that this case is similar to that, and the precedent should be followed.
Thank you.
Thank you.